Hey guys, welcome back to Late Night Snack, and today we're doing money talk. So we're talking about just saving money, how to send money, and anything that really pops up in our head right now.
About money.
Yeah, and just to give you guys a heads up, this is all coming from a American perspective, so US dollars are really going to be what's thrown around.
Right.
So really do your own research to see how much the US is to your country, and then yeah.
We'll try to use yen too, like as much as we can, because we do get paid in yen. So it's kind of easier to talk about how much we save in yen too. So.
Yeah. So let's see. What do you want to talk about first? Saving money?
Yeah, one of the questions that we got is, can you save money if you come and do this type of job in Japan? And it's a very good question, but it all depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to have while you're here.
Yeah.
And of course, how much you make.
Yeah, how much you make, your lifestyle, and your responsibilities back in your own country. That's really going to be the biggest difference for everybody. Right.
We have student loans, so that's one of our responsibilities for back home. We have some friends that still have cars back home that they need to maintain insurance on, or maybe they're still making payments on. So those are all things that are going to really make an impact.
Yeah.
If you're trying to save money, right now the dollar is, dollar's kind of always strong, but the yen is kind of weak in comparison. So if you're sending money to go to pay bills back home, it's gonna hurt you a little bit.
You have to send more to pay less back home.
Yeah, to make up the difference.
To make up the difference,
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so we have a little breakdown of how much things would cost and then how much you could save. So you can talk about that.
Yes, we both live in Leo Palaces, so our rent is pretty close. Mine is 56,200 yen, and Ralph's is
552. Was that
55,200 yen. So we're right around the same amount of money for a Leo Palace. They might be more expensive if you move toward Tokyo.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've spent around 55,000 yen. Okay, and then we've got our bills. We'll link our the breakdown of what bills we have in the description. But it's just your basic, water, gas, electric, phone. Bills. I average my bills out to 20,000 yen a month. That's a little bit more than I pay, but I rather ballpark it the bigger end of it.
Yeah, and it's probably mine also. It can go down to as low as maybe 150-ish, because my water bill actually comes every 2 months, and sometimes I don't use my phone that much, but sometimes I do have to call the postal service in Japan, and if you call the English hotline, they charge you per minute or something like that, so it does fluctuate. But 20,000 or 200 US dollars about is a good safe zone per month.
And like I said, it's different. I don't have a water bill, so I pay less bills, and then you have insurance too. He pays more for insurance, so that's why we chose 20,000 as your base. So we spent around 55,000 yen on rent, around 20,000 yen on bills, and then there's food. And food varies for everybody because everybody, some people don't like cooking, so they like to eat out. Some people like cooking more.
Yeah, and some are more strict on their eating habits. There might be pescatarian or vegetarian, and it's you gotta account for that stuff.
Right. Whenever I calculate, after I get paid, we get paid once a month. After we calculate, I like to allot 10,000 yen a week for food. That's about $100, $100 US dollars for food. So in a month, I say that I spend 40,000 yen on food. Of course, not every week. I'm not going to spend 10,000 yen every week on food. Some weeks I eat out more, especially on the weekends. Some weeks I don't eat out at all and I stay in the whole week. So it just depends for everyone. I don't know how much you think you spend a week on food.
I'm all over the place. So somewhere between 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 or 10,000, so about $50 to $100. So I do eat out sometimes, but sometimes I just don't have any money, or I'm really trying to save as much money as I can for the weekend, So maybe I'll eat a ton of pasta for the week, and that's only gonna cost me, $5, $6, $7 for the whole week, and I'll be fine, So I do try to save some money in that way, and just in that. But yeah, I'm rambling a little bit. But yeah, between 5,000 and 10,000 is what you're going to be spending, I think.
Yeah. So it varies for everybody. Of course, like I said, some people eat out more. So right now we've spent around 55,000 yen on rent, 20,000 on bills, and around 40,000 yen a month on food. But that can vary.
Yeah.
One thing that we did a lot for is like if you're traveling,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to go places, which many people do, it's going to cost a lot more money.
If you live further out from like the big cities,
Right.
it's going to cost even more money. Where I used to live, I had to take a bus to the train station, and the bus was about $5 or 500 yen. And then go to Tokyo one way was about 1,000 yen or $10. So just to do a round trip, just to get into Tokyo, not even to get around in Tokyo, I'm looking at $3,000 or $30, you know, just to go a round trip if I don't stop anywhere and I just hit Tokyo and go back, you know. So yeah, transportation's really going to be the biggest enemy when you're traveling in Japan.
Right. So like it's so convenient because it's like it's widespread and it's everywhere. But it adds up.
Yeah.
You know, going to see Raf, we each spend around 2,000 yen round trip. So it's about $20 US, which doesn't seem like very much, but it adds up.
Yeah.
You know.
That's just to get to my place. Maybe we're gonna go to Tokyo. We're
Right.
gonna go to watch a movie. You know, it all adds up eventually.
Right. So of course the amount that you spend on transportation and going places, you know, that can really affect how much you can save.
So, yeah, we didn't write a number for that because it really depends from person to person. I knew someone who really didn't want to go out on the weekends and they just stayed in their apartment the whole time. But then we know other people, they want to go to Tokyo a lot, you know, maybe they have a part-time job or they just have friends, you know. So we didn't really write a number for this because it really depends on your lifestyle.
Right. Yeah. So, yes, so then there's like the, I guess included in the transportation, there's like extracurricular things, like if you go to movies, if you go to music shows, there's a lot of music shows that you can go to.
So if you do all of this, that's, of course, you're just saving less and less and less.
Yeah.
So just to recap, your rent's gonna be about 56,000, your bills are about 20,000, and your food's gonna be 40,000 40,000 on the upper side. You know, we're just trying to be safe for you guys.
Yeah.
So anything that you save below that is going to be profit for you guys, your savings pretty much.
Yeah. So adding up rent, bills, and food for like the bare minimum, hardly going out, living, it's around 120,000 yen, which is around $1,200 US.
Yeah.
Then
so that's what you're be saving, but then
that's not what you're saving. That's your total of bills.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, your bills. So we didn't really know how much to say you're going to be making because it really depends on your
Salary.
Your salary. Like if you have any teaching experience or Japanese experience, it's going to range or whatnot.
Right.
So Lorena did like a big
I had like a wide window.
Yeah.
So we spent some time like looking at jobs, and you know, we've been on like Gaijinpa and stuff like that. So we've seen a range of what, you know, people in our position can make. And the lowest we've seen is around 200,000 yen a month, which is around $2,000 US.
on average.
On average, there's like a big difference now because of the rate on the dollar. And to 270,000 yen, which is around $2,700 US. So I mean, that's a wide difference. That's a 70,000 yen difference. So that like it will depend on how much you save. So only adding rent, bills, and food, bare minimum, you could save on the low end around 83,000 yen a month, all the way up to 153,000 yen a month. That's around, I guess, $800 US, all the way to like $1,500 US. You know, it just like depends on how much, you know, you spend personally, you know. And then Raf and I, we send money back for student loans.
Student loans, credit cards.
Yeah,
you
just
know.
things like that.
Other people have to pay cards, like she said earlier. So that really is gonna knock your savings down right there.
Right. So like if your student loans are, you know, $300 to $500 US in yen, that's gonna be like 60,000 yen. You know, so that's already knocking your savings down a lot. So if you're very like lucky and you don't have like a lot of student loans, or if you want to defer that, then you're gonna be saving quite a bit. But it can be tough to save if you've got a lot going on in your home country.
So I think if you don't have any loans or any responsibilities to pay back in your country, the amount that you're going to get here is more than enough to go visit places, maybe go out to a different country like Taiwan.
Right, it's plenty.
So it's more than enough. You'll be fine. You're not going to be like living paycheck to paycheck. You'll feel like, you know, hey, I have some money to go out on the weekends.
Right.
So the savings is not too bad, I think.
Right. No, it's really not. Like we said, it's a little sucky when you have a lot going on back home still. And of course, then you've spent money that you've saved on moving here, so then you might be a little bit tight at first. But just kind of have to, if you're trying to decide if you want to come to Japan, if you'll save money, you have to assess how your life is, you know, in your home country at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, if you're really tight back home, it's not really going to get that much better here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're, I don't know which country you're coming from, unless the yen is stronger in this country than it is in your country. Did I say that right? I don't even know. But yeah, if the yen is stronger compared to your currency, then it might work out because you just have to send less and you'll pay more in your country because the yen will be stronger. But for us, it's the opposite. The dollar is stronger. So we have to send more just to pay.
To make up the difference.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's move on, I think, to the next topic.
Right. So you've got some bills at home, and you want to send money.
Yeah.
Okay. That was one of the things that I was most worried about because I have student loans. And so, Raf, do you want to talk about how you usually send money?
Yeah, we have two ways, and we both do them different ways.
My leg is falling asleep.
So I'll just do mine right away. Mine's really easy, but really the con to it is that you have to take the train or bus or whatever to get there. And the way I do it is through Western Union. And you just go to Western Union. You need to have your residence card, which you'll get when you arrive in the airport if you have a visa. And now there's like a new My Number, which is like a social security kind of number kind of thing.
You need that too.
So you need both of those. And then when you go to Western Union, you just fill it out. And it's all in English, so you don't have to worry about any of that, not understanding. And then you're going to say how much you want to send in US dollars or in yen or whatever. And then they'll just put it in their computer and they'll send it for you. They'll take your cash. There is a fee depending on how much you want to send. Like if it's less than a certain amount, it might be only $15 or $1,500. Mine tends to be up more on the $30,000 because I send more, about $500 or $600. Yeah, so it really depends on the price range on that. And then once you do send it, they'll give you like a 12-digit PIN number, and that PIN number is what you give to your family or someone that you really trust to go to a Western Union in the country or the state that you're sending the money to. And as long as they have that PIN number and the person that you give it to is on the piece of paper, they'll receive the cash. And I send it to my mom, so she'll get my cash and then she'll just deposit it into my account, and I can make payments to my credit cards and all that stuff.
Right. So that's what he usually does. He lives
a little blurry, I mean.
He lives not too far from a close Western Union hub. They're kind of all over the place. So if you happen to live maybe closer to Tokyo, there could be one that's really close to you.
Yeah.
So the travel might not even be a big deal. So he happens to live not too far from one, so it's not so bad. And I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to. His parents are super nice, and my parents are nice too. But I didn't want to depend on them having to go get the money. Maybe they don't have time. Maybe the bill is due really right away. So I opted in for a different route. I used PayPal to transfer money from my Japanese bank account to my American bank account. And the way that works is that I have an American PayPal account that's attached to my US bank account. And then I have a Japanese PayPal account that's attached to my Japanese bank account. And I just send money from one PayPal account to another PayPal account. The fee is like a flat rate, so that I've noticed. It's about 500 yen per 10,000 yen that I send. So that's around $5 per each $100, usually. And so that's my favorite option. I really like it. I just send the money, and then the person, the PayPal account that it's going to, has to accept the money. So since it's just me, I just check my email and it says that I sent myself money, and then I accept it. And so it's really convenient. It's really fast for me. I really like it. So that's how I do it.
It's really convenient for her. She can send it anytime she wants, day or night. I have to go during, working hours.
Yeah.
But I would say if you do her route, when you come to Japan, you're going to get a cash card so you can get cash out of the ATMs and stuff. That is not sufficient to use PayPal in Japan.
Right, you need a
debit card, Japanese debit card. So you're going to have to go to the bank probably again on your own. And you're going to have to fill it out and get that.
Right, so when we got here, our company helped us set up a bank account. And that came, what he said, with a cash card, which is just an ATM card. And back home, we don't really have ATM cards anymore. It's all a debit card now. But here you have to actually apply for a debit card. And I don't know if all banks do debit cards. We have MUFG, and they have...
I don't know.
Oh, MUFG.
UFJ.
Sometimes it goes by UFJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the actual logo is MUFG. It's really weird. But you have to get a debit card, and I don't know if all banks offer that or even have that as an option. But you need that to link it to your account.
Yeah. Without a debit card, you can't sign up for PayPal in Japan.
Yeah. You could you could send like without a debit card, you could just use like your bank account number, connect it to a PayPal, and have money transferred in. But to send money, it's like a debit transaction.
Yeah.
So that's how that works.
So it really depends on which way you want to do it. For instance, there's no bank, the UFJ bank in my town, so I would have to go out of town to go sign up or whatever. She's lucky enough that she has one in her town, so she's just able to go there and fill it out.
Yeah, it was very easy for me.
Yeah.
It was actually really simple, and I don't really know any Japanese.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I knew like even less than I do now. But yeah, so that's our breakdown.
Yeah, so there's two options. There's of course other options that we're not familiar with,
Yeah.
but there are some other ones if you don't want to do either one of ours. So you just really got to do your own homework and see which one's the best option.
Right, and also when I did a lot of research because I wanted to find the best and kind of cheapest way to do it. Western Union also has a service that's kind of like PayPal that you can send money online. However, Japan is one of the countries that wasn't an option for that at the moment. You know what? I haven't even checked. Maybe you can do it now. But when I was first researching, it wasn't an option in this country to like use the online method. So.
Yep. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for our talking money video.
Our money talk.
But Lorena wants to show a prize that she won the other day.
Oh yeah, you know those UFO crane machines? They're super popular here, and I don't really like playing them because I never win anything. But yesterday, I won this.
Yeah. She won like those, like, you'll see like little crane games where you can win little prizes. She won like the big one in front of the store kind of prize.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
On my second try.
Yes.
It's not like I put a ton of money in it. It was awesome.
Yeah, so super happy about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And I do want to say, just a little side note, if anyone does play Mario Maker, if you guys want to add me, because I'd like to play Mario Maker, send me your name and I'll add you and you can play together. Lorena makes some stages too.
I made one stage one time.
Yeah. So. She makes it really hard and then she can't beat it. Then she's like, how am I supposed to submit it? But she beat it. Alright, but that's about it, guys.
Yes, we're sorry that we haven't posted any videos lately. We're super lazy, and I'm sorry about that. But thank you for watching. Have a great day or night.
Yeah. Until next time.
Bye.
I'm voting for the Panthers.